if we were to get, over time, like you said, homeschooling is growing. I'm personally involved in the homeschooling movement. I was actually homeschooled as a kid, and my kids are homeschooled. And I went to a conference a couple years back, and homeschoolers are by far more likely to be involved in politics. And so it's like one of the best things you can do for this country is to homeschool your kids. It's hard, and it's not for everybody, but, just something to think about. But the movement is absolutely exploding, and a lot of states are very friendly to homeschooling now. It's a lot more accepted. People know about it. Everybody knows somebody who was homeschooled. And so that's just one little microcosm of, I guess, improvement. It's one little area of improvement along with guns. And I think what's happening is the grievances put onto us by the government, I think George Washington said something about this, are getting to the point to where people are going, whoa, what is it? They're noticing. I don't think we can get much farther. And with this NSA stuff, now all of a sudden you've got all of these slacker internet user kids going, hey, they're all privacy. I'm all about privacy because everyone's about privacy. And so there's a whole group of people that I think are just being brought into this awakening by the grievances. And you hate to have grievances at all, but it's getting to the point where you can't ignore it.
Yeah. Well, we kind of got off the Second Amendment subject a little bit. We brought it back in. Here's where I think everything is going crap. Because, I'm trying not to use, the words that are actually coming to your mind. They're attacking the kids at school. We're gonna go back to Eric Holder and his big, huge comment way back in the day when he didn't think he was going to be where he's at, saying he wants to brainwash, America into thinking guns are bad, evil, and, shameful. But look what they're doing in the schools. You bring a toy gun to school, you get suspended. You chew a pastry into a shape of a gun, it's, you're going to get suspended. You finger at somebody with your thumb up and make a gun, you're going to get in trouble. That's where they're starting. They shame our children into believing that firearms, guns, are evil and bad and wrong. That is where we need to start. We need to take our children out. We need to take them to the range. We need to train. We need to teach them. We need to make them understand what these guns are for, why we use them, what they can do, and how to handle them. And we need to go against the brainwashing.
Exactly. Yeah. And, we're doing all we can to do that. Oh.
On that note, I'd also like to throw out, I know you guys give props to people later, but for those of you that are curious about teaching your kid and maybe you don't know a lot about weapons, Google the Appleseed program. It's a national program where they come to towns and they will train your child for you and yourself on shooting rifles. Check it out. It's Appleseed program.
Yeah,
awesome.
Appleseed.org.
Project Appleseed.
Appleseedinfo.org is the site, and it is absolutely a great program. I totally agree, and I'm glad you brought it up. I've been to the Appleseed, and other members of my family have. And more than just guns, they teach you about the Revolutionary War. They teach you about the three strikes. It took 3 strikes of that match before the thing started. It might take a couple strikes now. Something to think about. But they teach you how to shoot, and you learn about history, and you sort of learn that riflery, firearms is an American heritage. It's truly a unique to America sport. It's really, really cool. You got to go to it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Love those guys.
Yeah, I didn't even think about them. Here, because that's something I want to do when I get my gun is have a training area set up, and it's only between 5 to 16, and the parents are going to be there, but we'll train them both. That's something I really want to do. And if somebody came up to me now and said, hey, I just bought my son a 22, or I just got a gun, can you teach me? I would have no problem with that. I would go out and we'd show them the way. And I think that's what we need to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And not just with guns. I'm a Cub Scout den leader and pack master as well. So I interact with my son and all the boys, and it's not just about guns. It's teaching our children individual responsibility and how to be good, responsible Americans and adults. I take pride in the fact that I do that. So, just get involved with the kids. You're absolutely right. They're indoctrinating them in the public schools. We have to counter that with our thoughts and our beliefs and our principles.
Yeah, we are. It's happening. Let's keep it up.
Amen.
But there's hope. I mean, there is hope.
Yes.
I know. I'm proud that we live in a rural area. Warren, I think we're not too far from you because we're just north of Nashville, and I can say that in our public school here, I did try to homeschool my kids for about a year because of my son's health issues, and let's just say it didn't work out as a teacher so well. But we're very fortunate because our local public school, it's all the people there all the teachers have been there as kids, and they say the Pledge of Allegiance every day at school, and they didn't bat an eyelash when my son drew a turkey, or himself and his father shooting a turkey in a little kindergarten assignment of what does spring mean to you. And the big social activity for parents and their children in 4th and 5th grade is to take your kids to the Hunter education course. And we're very
that's something to be taught in every school.
Yeah. So,
kids don't even know where food comes from.
Yeah.
Now, Natalie, you're right. There is hope, but like I learned in the Army a long time ago, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Even though there is hope, you still need to be ready for the worst.
Right on.
Yeah, and that ties into what we're saying about, a revolution, or at least a demand by the people to respect things. And whether it's homeschooling or the effort by Colorado, those are great efforts and they need to be made. But we can't just cede territory and decide, okay, well, the rest of the country can go crazy. We'll just have our little camp over here, which is, according to constitutional, because eventually it's going to get overtaken. And the point is that we also have to take back schools and our districts and our legislators and demand accountability, through the process, and absolutely. But it's not going to be good enough to just retreat and do our best in our own little corner. We're going to have to make sure that, we're making a difference in our community and in our local schools, and not letting those just fall to the wayside.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, both of my daughters go to a public school, and it's very conservative public school. But I try to also feed them a constant diet of Ayn Rand, American history, and M. Thor and Gloss. So the parents have a duty also to try to offset some of societal influences also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, of course, we've covered the gun portion in the Second Amendment now, and I think we've actually touched on the militia portion quite a bit, because we don't have we don't have our rights without the right to actually have a militia. All the talk about gathering and all this talk about revolution, and all this talk about taking our nation back, but there really is no talk of the militia and the fact that we the people are the militia, and we are the ones that are responsible for the conduct of our government, whether they want us to be or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have seen the enemy and he is us.
Yeah, unfortunately, the government comes from the people, so the government literally is a reflection of America, and I think we haven't. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, because there's all the social ills in the last 20, 30 years those people aren't in politics yet. They're not quite there yet, but there's been so many like fatherless children and broken families, and all of these things matter. They matter to society because those people all will roll over until they're at this age where they're all in politics, and then all of a sudden we've got a government who comes from those people. So it might get even worse, but we're already seeing a government that came from the 60s, basically. I mean, the government is us.
Yes, it is. Let me throw something out there. If anybody's listening and wants to call in as a guest, our phone number is 213-286-6730. That number again is 213-286-6730. We'd love to hear from you. Also, you can go to our Blog Talk Radio site and sign in the live chat. So if anybody's out there that has anything to say, we'd love to hear from you. Okay, guys.
I think we're going to take this break and go ahead and give our shout-out. I've got to give a shout-out to PA Firearms Trader on Facebook. They've been pushing this radio show every week for us, and so I really ask all the listeners to go ahead and look them up at PA Radio. It's our PA Firearms Trader. Let's see. I have to remember how it was written in just a second. I think it's www.facebook.com/PA, then capital F Firearm, and then capital T on Trader. Give them a like and let them know that you appreciate them pushing the show out there. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if you guys are hearing that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
All right. It must just be on my end for some reason.
Jay, can we give a shout-out to a place that makes handmade paracord rifle slings and bracelets?
Yeah, go ahead. I like it. I like its site.
It's absolutely a great resource. It's called airborneron.com, and this is a veteran, and he does a lot to help fellow veterans, and he makes custom and handmade paracord bracelets, paracord accessories, and especially rifle slings. They're great. He hand makes them with his wife and daughter, and there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of work for fellow veterans, and he's a veteran himself of the Army and of Mogadishu. So definitely go check it out at Airborne Ron. He's got raffle tickets right now, and it's just a great person.
Yeah, I like the story behind the name of the company as his daughter came up with it. It was a pretty good story.
Yeah. Airborne Abbey. That's his daughter.
Yeah. And then we have A&R Guns and Ammo, LLC, out of Plano, Texas, that also pushes our radio show a lot. 248 Shooter on Facebook that pushes it a lot. And I know there's more, and I appreciate each and every one of them putting it out there for us. Just trying to get the word out there. So Silkman and Warren, if you have anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, go ahead and post your Facebook page and your website addresses out there.
Absolutely, and Warren, if you don't mind, I'll throw mine out there first. And I do want to shout out, and I hate to plug my page, but I have a lot of great companies working with me to sponsor a huge contest I'm having on my page. When I get to 50,000 likes, we have a ton of stuff that's going to be won by one person. So go to Facebook.com/Second Amendment USA, and second is 2ND. It's not spelled out. And go click on the giveaway and like all the pages that are participating and see the prize list. I did want to send one special shout out, somebody that shared this show with their readers or their followers on Facebook, and that's stickerups.com, sticker-ups.ups.com. They sell a bunch of decals, custom gun family decals. You know, you have the little decals on the back of the truck with the mommy, daddy, the two kids, and the dog. They kind of do the same thing with guns. You buy rifles and ARs and handguns and stuff like that, and They asked me specifically. They must listen because they said, "Give me a shout out if you get a chance at the end of the show."